Hi, my name's Geeta and I'm the CEO and founder of London-based Nosh Detox Delivery Limited. And we're going to talk today about making one small change. I have mainly women as clients, and in the 10 years that I've been doing this, women have come in increasingly exhausted. I mean, I'm tired. We're all tired because we're all doing too much. I'm a single mother. I've got 1 million children. Well, I've got 3 and they feel like 1 million. And I've got a job and I've got a house and I've got cats that sleep around all day. And it's just tough because I've got to manage all that process all the time. And even if not all of it requires me to show up right here, right now, it's always in the back of my mind about the stuff that I've got to do. You know what I mean? It is just really, really tough. And this thing of exhaustion, I looked at that and I was just like, what is this? Why are we permanently exhausted? I eat spectacularly well. It's my job. I am always having IV drips. I work out, I sleep, I hydrate, I do everything. My doctor just laughs at me when I go in and goes, you live like 1% of the world. What do you want from me? I mean, there's nothing I can do for you. And I'm like, that's really helpful. And so I wanted to nail down exhaustion in women. We're just permanently exhausted. And you go to sleep and you wake up unrested. And you eat and you don't feel nourished. And you laugh, but it doesn't feel funny. Do you know what I mean? It just is not, it's quite painful. And the thing that I isolated it and narrowed it down to was a really interesting concept, which I then applied to my private coaching clients when they come in. And I have coaching with CEOs and high-performing women in many, many categories, but women with a heck of a lot on their plates, like me, like you. And I started to teach women the difference between force and power. So I want you to think about this. What do we do now? What we do is we have lifestyles that our mothers just never had. Because what we do is my lifestyle is so 100% different to my mother's. It's not even a generational jump. It's a quantum leap. I'm the breadwinner in my family. I look after my children and I'm the sole provider of everything. Emotions, money, clothing, video games, and all of that rubbish. And then also, I'm the CEO of my business. So I'm kind of alone on all the levels because I'm in leadership in every place that I show up in. And when you think about that, how do you show up in your life? Now, we've been taught, because I'm an ex-corporate lawyer, we've been taught that the way to show up is to be masculine and to be really forceful and understand and my shoulder pads and my this. And the trouble with that is you get named, firstly you get called a bitch, which is one thing. But the other thing is it's a very masculine approach to life because men tend to, and it's very testosterone based, men tend to go into one problem, deal with that problem so they can't see or hear you until they come out of that problem. And women are estrogenic, so they have this much, much wider approach. So we're always going this and then this and then this and then this and then this. In any 10 minutes, I can absolutely be organizing what the kids are going to have for lunch and working out what my P&L is doing and picking up a phone call from my mother whose kitchen's being redone. I promise you, that's also my problem. And I started to understand, as I started to teach this, is that in fact, when we approach something from a very masculine approach, it costs us dearly. We have small amounts of testosterone in our body because we're predominantly, as women, estrogenic. We have lots of estrogen, very, very little testosterone. We do have testosterone, but not a lot of it. So when we use up that testosterone, we head into being stressed really, really quickly. Now, when you're estrogenic, you're more receiving as opposed to pushing. So masculine is very push, feminine is very, very pull. Masculine women can be very passive-aggressive. Feminine women can be very strong and powerful. So can you see, I'm even physically kind of doing that. What I'm saying is that when you change your approach from being forceful, we're all guilty of it, to being a more pulling approach, it really changes the power dynamic of where you come from, but it also changes how you go through life because you use up less of your energy reserves and you feel better at the end of the day when you come from a feminine feeling of flow instead of a masculine approach of pure focus and coming out. Men do that because it works for them. It works for testosterone-filled bodies, and for women, we were trained to do it when we went into the workforce in ever-increasing numbers because we have to pay our bills and I have to put my kids through school and feed them. But I want you to not do that. I want you to look at what you're doing and write down on a piece of paper, like I tell my coaching clients, write it down. Are you coming from a push or a pull? Is it coming from force or is it coming from power? Because actually women are set up to receive. So when you want something, when you want to achieve something, you come at it differently to a man. And if you remember that you flow into a position much more, it gives you your private strength. And as a woman, it makes you very, very powerful. I'm a very powerful woman, but I'm a calm, powerful woman who doesn't deplete my resources. I encourage you to try and use that.